Hey, entrepreneurs, there's a new way for you to create new markets and to make money in ways that are much easier than ever before. Learn about Bitcoin. That's right. This is it, the one you've been waiting for. Bitcoin, as I talk with Doug Scribner from Watch My Bit. Today's digital age gives you the option of creating wealth, being an entrepreneur in many different areas. And one of those is with digital currency. There's a lot that's available with digital currency, which is quite different and actually better than some of the more traditional ways of finance and purchasing and other options. To find out about that, we've got a person who really knows the world of digital currency and specifically Bitcoin, who's joining us now. His name is Doug Scribner with Watch My Bit, and he's joining us from their offices up in Minnesota. Doug, thanks for being with us today.
Hey, no problem. Nice to see you, Terry.
Great to see you. And I'm really interested in going into this. You've been able to help me a lot on what is Bitcoin, how digital currency is being used. So those that are watching right now, I know many of our viewers are going to think, hey, I've heard about it. I know a little bit about Bitcoin. Let's take it from the very beginning. The gentleman, this is a football kind of presentation that Vince Lombardi would tell us. And what is digital currency? What is Bitcoin? And how do we use those in business?
Well, gentlemen, this is a football. Oh, no, wait, that's the wrong.
That's the wrong one. This is the gentleman. This is Bitcoin.
Now, what is interesting and cool is I can't say this is a Bitcoin because it's a virtual digital currency, digital cash. Actually, digital cash is a better description than virtual currency because it actually exists on the internet, and it's something that is traded. It is something that can be bought. It is something that can be found. It is something that can be spent. It's much like using a credit card, because that's largely a digital kind of money also. It's tied to our government bank accounts, so therefore there are many rules and restrictions that don't allow us to send it certain places, certain amounts, and it's very, very slow. Whereas Bitcoin and other digital cash is instantaneous for the most part. It can be sent anywhere in the world that there is internet, which is everywhere in the world, of course. And it is something that can be sent with an unlimited number of, an unlimited amount of value without getting permission from anybody. So the ramifications of this are incredible. They're incredibly positive, and they're incredibly lucrative if you are an entrepreneur in this space.
Doug, that sounds really interesting. I like it, and I've seen a lot of talk about that. But let's get down into the real world. I mean, the nitty-gritty. If I want to buy a pen, or I want to buy a drink, or a meal, or I want to get something that I normally get from Amazon, things like that, how viable is Bitcoin or other digital currencies for using that today?
Well, it's incredibly viable, and anything you want, you can get with Bitcoin. As some of your people might know, there are lots of companies that accept Bitcoin. For example, Overstock.com, one of the largest online retailers, and I'm sharing this right now, we see this is Overstock.com. Here's their description and understanding of Bitcoin. This is Patrick Byrne, their CEO, CEO, explaining how great it is. Right on Overstock.com, anything you want, you can get with Bitcoin. But not only that, there's all kinds of other methods of turning digital cash into real-world commodities like pens and computers. I like to buy gift cards. I buy tons of gift cards with Bitcoin. There's a company called Gift, G-Y-F-T. The wallet on my phone I use, Airbits, actually has Target and Starbucks gift cards right inside. So when people say, well, you can't do anything with Bitcoin anymore. Well, sure you can. Of course, the other thing you can do is you can watch videos with Bitcoin. That's my company, Watch My Bit.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, one of the things I wanted to do is to really get into that because you have the company, and those of you watching this, write this down, watchmybit, BIT.com, and this is where you can see videos that are actually available out there. If you're a content creator, you're a writer, you're a speaker, you are a coach, you are a thought leader, this is a way for you to make money, and it goes way beyond what you've seen before. Doug, show us a little bit about what is doing. I know your site is constantly changing. You're always upgrading it. So those of you watching this, it might be a little bit different when you see it, but you can get the idea of what can happen. Doug, show us what can be done and what you're doing with it now.
Right. So it's going to change, but here is our site right now as is. And speaking of speakers, look at this. This was from a convention, Terry, that you were the MC of about last February. And here's nothing but a ton of speakers. Oops, hold on a second. I'm going to go back over here and click on an Article Poker 2016. So here's this is their channel. And you introduced every single one of these speakers here. And these speeches are 26 minutes, 30 minutes, 42 minutes, and they have prices such as 12 cents, 49 cents, 44 cents, 29 cents. Now, these prices are something that you cannot do with a credit card. You can't charge 28 cents, for example, to watch Terry and Gina's presentation. I click on the video and it pulls up the actual paywall asking for a user to send 28 cents of Bitcoin. And there's you back there with your speech. So that's something that is unable to be done with credit cards. You can't charge 28 cents for your 15-minute speech, even if you wanted to with credit cards. And many of those credit cards are blocked in many countries, and people often don't even use credit cards in other countries. So Bitcoin does a lot of amazing things. One of them is to jump borders, to jump boundaries. And we now have a boundless world where our customer doesn't just exist in a Western world with credit cards and PayPal, but they exist anywhere on the planet with the internet.
Yeah, well, Doug, what you just said is incredible for thought leaders, for content creators, because when you think about it, 28 cents to watch a video, you think, oh, that's no big deal. Yeah, multiply that by thousands and thousands, millions, or even billions or potential. We don't know how many will be there, but worldwide, and people that wouldn't be able to do it otherwise. They can't get access to a bank. There's, I've heard estimates of around 2 billion people that don't have access to a bank anywhere, but they do have money, and they can access Bitcoin. So you are opening up a whole new way of living, of doing business for entrepreneurs that, to me, this is just nothing short of exciting. What kind of results have you seen with people using Watch My Bit?
Well, one of the greatest things that we've seen is that this 28 cents, most of that goes to the speaker. So unlike advertising on YouTube, where you might get 40% of that advertising dollar, we pass on 75%, 80%, 90% onto the actual content creator. So the example I like to use is 10,000 views of a video on YouTube will get you $6, maybe as much as $40 or $50. On Watch My Bit, if you charge 21 cents and you get 10,000 views, you're getting $1,500 at a minimum.
Very nice.
That's some of the potential that this model has, and no advertising. You don't.
Yeah, and by the way, another thing that I want to go in a little bit more in depth because of what you've shown me before with Watch My Bit, and those of you that are content creators that are watching this, pay attention. This is really important. If I say, yeah, I want to do that, but also, Doug, I've got a special charity that I really want to give to, whatever that charity might be, and I'd like them to get 5% or 10% of everything that happens. I understand you can do a little bit about that. You can also say, I want 5% to go to Aunt Myrtle because I really want to help Aunt Myrtle out with all these things. How does Watch My Bit play with that, and what can we do with our content?
Well, that's a great question, and it's another benefit of Bitcoin. And as an entrepreneur, we have learned how to send this value onto people. So exactly right. I'm going to show you another great use case scenario here. So this is a band's video, and a band is a great one because the bands have guitar players, drummers, keyboards, singers, and management, and they all need to get a split of that. You know, they all need to get some of that money. So with Bitcoin and our platform in particular, you can split to any percentage to any number of people, including a charity, which is something that we are really, really proud of. Watching our explainer video shows this in action to help you visualize how this works. So 21 cents, 28 cents goes to a speech. That means that you can then split that out to anyone you want. So maybe the speaker gets 75% of that. Maybe the convention that hosted you is going to get 20% of that. That leaves 15% to a charity. Now that charity, knowing that they're getting 15% by watching your video, might pimp your video to their supporters. And all of a sudden you have many people sharing the link to your video because they want people to watch it, but because they're getting a piece of it, which is just empowering.
Absolutely. I think that is great. Matter of fact, an idea that I had, and I'm going to share this for my speaker friends that are watching right now. Think about it. You're speaking to a group, you are at an association. Most of those associations have some form of charity. What you can do is you can say, hey, here's what I'm going to do. For $1, I'm going to give you a video. Now, you will pay $1. Here's how you do it. You go in there and you pay this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give X% of that to the such and such charity. So you pay $1, I'll make money with it, and the charity is going to do it. We give it to the association or whatever, and it's a great way to have something happen in the real world there for people who really matter. Doug, I think you've put together something here that looks really, really outstanding for entrepreneurs. But I'm also concerned there's been some talk in the press and news a while back about people that put money into a certain form of Bitcoin and then it was stolen. Somehow it was lost. Recently, we saw one a while back, about $72 million worth of Bitcoin was stolen from some details over in Hong Kong. We saw something that happened up in Tokyo with things a while back. So some people are going, whoa, 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 wait a minute. I don't know about this Bitcoin. I'm a little bit concerned. But you were telling me something that really works, and it kind of goes back to older technology. Tell me what we can do and the importance of security and how to ensure that in the world of digital currency and Bitcoin.
Right. So the adage in the world of digital currency and Bitcoin is, if you don't control the private keys, you don't control the money. Now, a private key can be thought of as your credit card number, right? If your credit card number gets out there, there's a chance someone can spend it. Same thing with Bitcoin. It's super simple. There's a public key and a private key. So the concept is that third parties like exchanges, Bitfinex was the recent one that had a hack. Now, Bitfinex was hacked. They lost $70 million worth of customer funds. Does that mean that Bitcoin has been compromised? Not at all. Any more so than if Wells Fargo's get robbed, you don't say, well, the US dollar is now not worth as much. Not true. Wells Fargo got robbed, not the US dollar. So one very funny, interesting, ironic thing is one of the best ways to protect Bitcoin is to store it on your own device, your own phone. My phone contains my own private keys. I control the phone, which is backed up, which has passwords, which cannot be hacked. I control the Bitcoins. Less likely of being hacked this way, by the way. Another interesting concept is a paper wallet. Yes, paper. We're going to store digital currency on a paper wallet. Here's an example of a paper wallet by Mycelium, an Entropy device. We've got a private key here, a public key here, a private key hidden there.
And I notice it is hidden. The paper very wisely over that, so that way no one can go in there and grab. Because if they don't do it, but if suddenly that was revealed, what could happen?
Well, very famously, someone from CNN was being interviewed about their Bitcoin storage. He goes, I have this wallet here, and it can be stored on a paper wallet. Private key exposed. Somebody with a high-def TV froze the frame, swept the funds off of it, and then bragged about it on the internet.
Wow. Okay, good point there.
The white hat hacker who did that said, I'm going to give it back to you. And the reporter said, no, that's okay. It was my bad for doing it. He gave it to a charity instead, which is really, really part of the great community. But yeah, paper, a great way to store Bitcoin for long term. In the short term, your own phone. There are other platforms to store your Bitcoin, trade your Bitcoin. They trade your Bitcoin, but there are third parties that you're trusting with your Bitcoin. So be careful.
Yeah, very important. Yeah, Doug, you're bringing some really important points. Okay, so for our viewers that are there that said, okay, you got me really interested. I want to get into this. I want to learn more. I want to find out about Bitcoin. I don't know anything about it. Don't have any of it. I don't understand the terms. Where can they get started? And for someone who might have done a little bit, kind of to fill in any gaps, what's a good way to do that in addition to, of course, going to watchmybit.com, your site, and finding out about it? How can someone get started with Bitcoin?
Well, I'm going to refer people to the age-old classic Bitcoin startup or website, which is weusecoins.com. So let me just show you this right here. Here is We Use Coins. It's got the simplest first 2-minute video that explains it on the high-level overview, and lots of places on how to get a wallet, how to get started. If you're a merchant, how to buy and sell. This is a great site to learn about Bitcoin and of course, the best way, Google. Just do a Google search on Bitcoin, all your concerns, all your questions, looking for videos. That's what I suggest for the newbies. And the other thing is get a wallet. I recommend the Airbitz wallet, maybe the Mycelium wallet.
Spell that, please, for us.
AIRBITZ, Airbitz. It's on Android, and it's on iOS. That's the one that has gift cards built right in, and a way to buy Bitcoin built right in if you're in most states. So,
excellent.
Good start. In fact, should we do a little demo of the Airbits wallet and launching a video?
Yeah, if we can do that, let's go for it.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen again here in just a second, and I'm going to bring up a video that Terry Brock is in. Look at that. So what we're looking at here is a, oh, wait a second, here's my annotate button. There it is. This is the one I'm looking for here. All right, so what we have here is waiting a transaction. It says scan to send 28 cents. I'm going to now, and you can see this, right? Can you see my, I'm holding up the video of my phone.
We're not seeing the phone on there. We would need to share that in a different way.
Oh, got it. Well, let me just show you just quickly on the camera that I have a Bitcoin wallet right here.
There we are.
I'm going to hit the button that says send, because I'm going to send Bitcoin. It opens up my camera. I use this then to scan the QR code. Go back to screen sharing mode. There's a QR code right on the screen. I'm now holding my camera in front of it. It brings up the price. I hit slide to confirm. And in about 4 to 5 seconds, we will see that money has been magically sent across the internet. There it goes. And the video will launch.
There we go. So I have just made some money.
You have, Terry. In fact, you made, you know, probably, well, see, how much was this video here? It was 28 cents. So you made about 20 cents on this video, which you will see in the morning.
There we go.
You get paid out, unlike YouTube, which pays out once a month, if that, if you're lucky.
Yeah, that's very nice. And we appreciate you showing us in detail what that can mean. Because, again, those of you that are watching this that are content creators, think in terms of the potential worldwide. Getting people, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people would, of course, be where you're going to start making some real serious money with that. And that means you focus on being a publisher. Focus on thinking long-term rather than, oh, I'm going to get all this much money for doing one presentation. You're going to get this much, but you're going to do it a whole bunch of times. Notice my hands are off the screen. You can't see it out there. That's what you want to do. Doug, this is amazing, amazing material and entrepreneurial ways to do it. Someone wants to get in touch with you. Doug, what's the best way for them to do that?
My website, watchmybit.com, has contact information, but I'll just give it to you right now. Doug at watchmybit.com. Simple as that.
Doug at watchmybit.com.
And let me say, Terry, any of your people who want to ask me a question or help them get into Bitcoin the way I have helped you, I will do that. I will be their Bitcoin personal guru to help them get started on this path to monetize their speaking, their comedy, their music, whatever the case is. Let's get the world working into this decentralized, not controlled, but decentralized currency, the way money should be.
Excellent. Doug Scribner, you have helped many people. I'm one. You have helped me a lot, and I know you've helped many more. We really appreciate what you're doing. Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, Terry.
And for those of you watching, this is something that is revolutionary. You've often wondered, gee, I wish I could go back in time and be there with Bill Gates when he started Microsoft, or with Steve Jobs when he started Apple, or whoever it might be that has done well. Now's the time to get into Bitcoin and digital currency. Start learning about it. That's the way to start. Go to those sites that Doug mentioned. Get to know them. Find out what is being said. Go over to watchmybit.com. Do that and see what's available and start thinking about how you can utilize it as well. I look forward to hearing from you. Drop me a note, Terry at terrybrock.com. And terrybrock.com is the website, of course, to see all kinds of information about that and more. Thanks for joining me, and I wish you much continued success in the future.